Hello, my small wonders. Are you ready for a story? This one is called The Town Mouse and the Country Mouse by Miles Kelly, illustrated by Andy Rowland. Shall we begin? The Town Mouse and the Country Mouse. A little mouse who lived in a busy, bustling town was on a train to the country. He was going to visit his cousin. The town mouse was excited, as he had never been to the country before. Meanwhile, the country mouse was hard at work preparing for the town mouse's visit. There she is, shaking out the welcome mat. After a long journey, the town mouse arrived. The cousins greeted each other joyfully. "Hello!" The country mouse showed off her home in a tree trunk. It was simple, but warm and cozy. "It doesn't look much like my home," the town mouse said. He doesn't look very impressed, but let's see what happens. Once the town mouse had rested, the country mouse took him to meet the farm animals next door. They crowded round to greet him. Curious, the horse lowered his head and sniffed at the town mouse. "Watch it!" he cried. He wasn't keen on these new animals. That evening, the country mouse served a dinner of bread and cheese. It was not at all like the fancy meals the town mouse was used to. At night, the town mouse tossed and turned in his bed of leaves. He was used to sleeping in a much softer bed. I don't think he's having a great visit, is he? "How do you put up with this?" the town mouse asked in the morning. "Your food is plain, and you sleep on leaves. Come to the town with me, and I'll show you how to live." The country mouse was eager to see the town, so she agreed. Let's see if the country mouse likes the town. The town mouse lived in a grand house in the middle of town. The country mouse was amazed. Inside, the town mouse proudly showed off his home. It was very comfortable, and it looks much bigger than the tree house. The town mouse began a tour of the house. In the kitchen, they spotted a cat prowling around. "Hide!" the town mouse whispered. "Shh!" They scurried under a cup. Here they waited, hardly daring to breathe. At last, the cat stalked away. "That was close!" exclaimed the country mouse, trembling. Seeing a big cat like that would be very scary, don't you think? Next, they crept into the living room. There were people there watching a bright, glowing screen. The country mouse gazed at it. She had never seen anything like it. In the playroom, there were all kinds of toys. The country mouse knocked over a tower of building blocks, which came tumbling down. They then went to the dining room. On the table, they found a delicious-looking feast. There were sandwiches and pies, cakes and biscuits, everything that was good to eat. The mice helped themselves. Look at all the food, yum! "I've never had food like this before," mumbled the country mouse. The town mouse laughed. "This is how you could eat all the time," he replied. Suddenly, the mice heard growling and scratching at the door. Two dogs burst in, sniffing the air. Uh-oh, what's going to happen to the mice? The dogs began to bark, jumping up at the table. The mice scampered away in fear. Wow, seeing those two dogs would have been very scary for two little mice. Enough was enough. The country mouse said goodbye and left the town at once. "Goodbye." Better to live poorly in peace than richly in fear, she said. What do you think she means by that? The town mouse had a beautiful house to live in, didn't he? And he had lots of food, and he had a TV to watch, lots of games to play. It looked like a very nice life, but he had to keep running away from the cat and the two dogs, and he had to hide from the people as well. The country mouse had a very simple house in a tree and very plain food to eat, but all the animals were her friends, and she didn't have to run away from anything because she wasn't scared. Sometimes people are too worried about having expensive things, like a nice car or a big TV or lots of fancy food to eat. And maybe they think they need to have lots and lots and lots of friends. But you don't need all of that to be happy. You could live in a small house, have very simple food to eat, and only a few friends, and you could be the happiest person in the world. Today is New Year's Eve. That means tomorrow is the first day of a new year. I hope this new year is a happier one for everyone. So Happy New Year, my small wonders, and I'll see you for our next story. Bye-bye.